Let's go ahead and remove this, and we're going to talk about some operators. So I'm just going to use fmt and .println, capital P. There we go. And I want to compare two values. So let's say I want to compare the numbers 3 and 4. Does 3 equal 4? No, of course not. So 3 equals 4. And you can see these equals are barred together because I have this ligature setting on. If I remove this ligature setting, it's still the same thing, 3 double equals 4, and now you can see there's a space between them. That's what this ligature does. So 3 double equals 4 is of course false. 3 does not equal 4. And so 1 equals is declaring a variable, right? So if I say num1 equals 3, or in our case it has to be colon equals 3, or the other way to say it, var num2 equals 3, like this. 1 equals with var or the colon equals is saying I want to take what's on the right hand side and assign it to the variable name on the left hand side. If I use double equals, I'm saying I want to compare the value on the left hand side to the right hand side. So 1 equals is assign, 2 equals is compare. So 3 double equals 4, this is false. We should print false. Yeah, it prints the Boolean value false. And we can actually assign that to an integer if we want to confirm that, right? If I say var my result, and we'll say bool equals, and 3 double equals 4. Now I'm really getting into the thick of it here. So I'm saying 3 double equals 4, and I'm assigning that to the left hand side variable my result. So this whole thing gets assigned to my result. Remember, 1 equals is assign it to the left hand side, 2 equals is compare. So I'm comparing these and I'm assigning it to my result, which should be false. So if I go over here and I say my result like this and run it, you see we still get false. Now if I say 4 double equals 4 and I run it, it's of course true. And we can shorthand this and just say my result colon equals. So again, 4 double equals 4, this is the comparison, and this is the assign. So comparing it and assigning it to my result and printing it. Run it. Of course we still get true. Now there are some other operators that we want to talk about. We talked about double equals. Now we want to talk about and or. So for example, we're going to say true and true, like this. Again, I have ligatures off. I wonder if that looks different if I turn them on for this. No, it doesn't. But again, that double equals, if I do it with the ligatures on, you'll see it's just one long bar. Some people like it. It's just kind of more fun to read that way sometimes. So we'll say true and true. This double ampersand here is kind of what and is, but there's no and in Go, so we have to use double ampersand. If something is true and true, then the result will be true. So and means that the thing on the left hand side and the right hand side have to both be true. So let's run this. We'll do a couple examples and you'll see we get true. If I say true and false, the left hand side is true, but the right hand side is false. So true and false will be false. So the value false gets assigned to my result and it gets printed. Run it. You see we get false. Of course, false and false is false. False and true is also false because it has to be true on both sides in order for the result to be true. So true and true is true. Now let's say I do true and I'm going to use parentheses here just to not cause confusion. Hopefully this will work fine. 3 double equals 4. So if I say true and 3 double equals 4, the left hand side of this double ampersand is true, fine. Now this right hand side has to be true in order for the whole thing to be true. 3 double equals 4 is false. So true and false is false, so my result should be false. Let's run it. Okay, and we get false. Now I don't think we need these parentheses here, but I'm just using them for clarity. Let's check. We still get false. Yeah, so it works without the parentheses, but for our clarity purposes we'll use them. Now if I say true and 4 double equals 4, this is true, and 4 does indeed double equal 4. By the way, this works on strings too, so if I want to say hi double equals hi, this is true, true and true. Now if I say hi double equals by, these two strings are different, right? Hi and by are not the same string, so we'll get false, because true is true, but hi does not double equal by, so this is false. True and false is false, and we assign that, we get false. So that's the AND operator. Now let's talk about the OR operator. Similar concept, but slightly different in how it returns stuff. So the OR operator, only one side of the double bars has to be true in order for this whole thing to be true. I wonder if this changes with the ligatures. Yeah, a little bit. So you can see it adds more spacing here. The OR again is these double pipelines that's above your enter sign on your keyboard, and you have to push shift to get it, otherwise you'll get the backward slash. Whoops, what have I done? Yeah, so you want the bar like this, so shift and then the far right above your enter on your keyboard should be this double pipeline. Well, it's a single pipeline, but you have to do it twice, and this is the same as saying true or true, but we have to use this double pipeline. I'm gonna put the ligature back on now. Yeah, so it just makes it a little more clean, I think. So true or true is true, and we'll get that here. Now only one side has to be true for the whole thing to be true. So if I say true or false, if one half of this OR is true, so this whole thing, if only one half of it's true, then the whole thing is true and my result becomes true. So I run this, you see we get true. If I say true on this side and false here, only half of it has to be true for the whole thing to be true, so this will be true. And if I say false and false, then neither side is true, so my result will be false. Let's run it. My result is false. And again, we can do the same concept here. False or 4 double equals 4. We know 4 does equal 4, so we know this is the whole thing. False is one half. 4 double equals 4 is true, so true or false is true. Only one half has to be true for the whole thing to be true. We can see we get true here. If we have false or 4 double equals 3, that's false, because false or false is false.